Again, I'm not saying that it's something that you know we should look forward to or be happy about, but I'm just saying that it's a possibility. I mean, things, if that's what could come out of the settlement, besides paying him royalties every time his characters are used, I'm just wondering if part of the settlement is to have his stories that he made for the characters, besides the echidna characters and all that, that the characters he made, or the story arcs he made, they could have more focus on and be acknowledged and spotlighted on, and basically looked at as a true part of the continuity, like the years later deal. And again, I'm not saying now let me again, first of all, like I said, first of all, this is my opinion, like I said, and I'm not saying that that's going to happen or not. I'm not saying whether it's true or not. But all I'm saying is I feel that could be, in my personal opinion, could be part of the settlement. In other words, we could end up having all that occur. I mean, whether you're a fan of Mobius years later or not, we can have that as part of the official continuity, and that could be ending up being the true future, whether we as fans like it or not, whether the staff working on the comic like Ian Flynn, Paul Kaminsky, and those like it or not, it could end up being the actual future. Which basically means Sonic and Sally would be together, Tails and Mino would be together. There would be nothing you could really do about that. I mean, nothing. And again, I'm not trying to say that's what's going to happen or not, but I do probably see that if his characters are retained to be used in the comic, that it's going to be on a royalty situation. In other words, you see in other words, when you open up an issue in the comic and you read down to where the fine print is, and it says who created who, like who's copyrighted who, I have a feeling in the future, if characters like Julie Sue and Remington and all of them are involved in the story, you're going to see Sonic the Hedgehog, copyright Sega of America, Sally Acorn, copyright Sega of America, blah, blah, blah. You can see all that, and then after it, you'll see things like Julie Sue, Remington, Hershey the Cat, Jeffrey St. John, copyright Ken Penders. I'm just saying. That's what I feel will probably be the more legit situation. Just my personal opinion. I'm not saying anything else. I'm not saying that, his story arcs and the events that he wrote in the comic and the characters he created for the comics are going to be more focused and spotlighted on in the near future because of this. And I'm not saying Mobius years later is going to be the true future and be a true part of the continuity because it'll be the true future. I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying it's a possibility. It's just my personal opinion that those could be huge, strong possibilities, and you got to look at it like that. You got to say to yourself, you know what? That could happen. And as far as the alternate changes, this is why every time I come on I do a video or I do a written type text, if you will, I come out and I say, I come out and say and compare it to wrestling. I come out and compare it to the WWE. Because recently, for example, WWE had a TLC pay-per-view. And the WWE basically had to make a change of plans due to CM Punk being out with a knee injury. Because originally CM Punk was to defend the championship in a TLC match against Ryback. But that didn't happen, and instead, as an alternative, if you will, as an altered change, as an alternative, you had Ryback team with Daniel Bryan and Kane against The Shield, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns. And what was a good match, and what was a very talked about match. Very good talked about match. But again, it's all about the fact that things change. And whether we like it or not, we got to deal with the change. And again, like I said, I'm just repeating myself for people to understand. I'm not saying that the settlement is going to, the result of the settlement is going to be Mobius years later. Events like Mobius years later and other events like it that were written by Ken Penders. Characters that were written by Penders or story arcs that were written by Penders are going to be more focused on or become true parts of the continuity. And I'm not saying years later is going to be a true part, going to be determined as the true future. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is there's a possibility that those could be one of the options they go with, or one of the directions they go with. But I feel, in the most honest opinion, that they're going to probably end up paying him royalties for every time his characters are used. And they may, it's just one last opinion, they may consult him every time his character is used. Like, okay, we're going to, like, let's say they can have Ian Flynn and Paul Kaminsky talk to him and say, okay, we're going to use Julie Sue in this arc. How do we use her? We want to do this with her, but what do you suggest? And he could probably say, yeah, that's good, you could use her like that, but here's what you do. You have her blast this person. And then if she gets confronted by Knuckles, say, hey, the guy was a threat. Or something like that. I don't know. It's just, like I said, it just could be just my opinion. But I think that could be the direction they go in, the more legit direction, more realistic direction. Not saying the other part wouldn't be realistic at all, but I'm just saying anything's possible. But like I said, there's two possibilities, two possibilities in my opinion. Is one, everything he's wrote, all these stories and events, characters, could all become true parts of the continuity and more focused on, especially, let's say, with Universe. Especially, like I said, with Universe, with the Sonic Universe book, as well as possibly the other option, which could be the stronger option and possibility, is he could be paid royalties every time his characters are used, and he could be consulted every time a character is used to see exactly how they should be used. And that when you look in that fine print and they say, oh, Sonic, copyrighted Sega, blah, 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 you'll see things like Julie Sue, Remington, Hershey, copyright Ken Penders. I'm just saying, folks, I'm not trying to say I know what's going to happen. It's just my personal opinions as a fan, and that's all I'm going to say about it. So let me know what you guys think. What do you feel is going to happen? Do you think they're going to do this? Do you think there's a strong possibility that any one of those possibilities that I mentioned could happen? Let me know what you guys think down below. I'll provide a link in the description box in both videos, as well as in the playlist description box of the TSSZ report. And let me know what you guys think. And I'll talk to you all later. God bless. Take care. And if you're a member on the Bumble King forums, please do not mention Twilight Cage again, because I think Ian Flynn basically said people better, to quote what Ian Flynn said in one of the posts there, he said people better stop talking about or thinking it's that reason, or before it becomes fact. And he quoted fact. So, but again, give me your opinions. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think anything, like I said, could be a possibility? Let me know what you guys think down below. Again, the link will be provided in the description boxes, as well as in the playlist description box. Let me know what you guys think. Because this, of course, this isn't like, it's like you said, this isn't the first time this has happened, but still, it is a major situation. It does involve basically two, if not one, very popular character that fans love very much. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll talk to you all later.